Hello, and welcome to the Enjoy English podcast. I'm your host, Alex, and I am so happy you are here with me today. This is the place where we learn English and learn about life in a fun and easy way. I hope you're having a fantastic week. I am feeling amazing today, full of energy, because we are going to talk about something really important. Have you ever looked at someone and thought, wow, they are so successful? Maybe you see someone who speaks English perfectly, or has a great job, or is very healthy, and you think to yourself, how do they do it? Is it magic? Were they just born lucky? It's a common question, and it's easy to feel like other people have a secret that you don't know. I used to think that way too. When I was first learning to play the guitar, I saw my favorite musicians, and they made it look so easy. I thought, I will never be that good. It's impossible. I felt stuck. I practiced for a week, but my fingers hurt, and it sounded terrible. I almost gave up, but then I learned a little secret. It's not really a secret, but many people forget it. Success, whether it's in learning English, playing an instrument, or changing your life, is not about one big magical moment. It's not about luck. It's about something much simpler, something that every single one of us can do. And that is exactly what we are going to talk about today. We are going to break down the real secret to achieving your goals. We will look at why we feel stuck, and I will give you some powerful, simple tools that you can start using today to build the life you want. So, get comfortable. Maybe grab a cup of tea or coffee, and let's get started on this adventure together. Are you ready? Let's do this. Part 1. The big myth of overnight success. All right, so let's talk about this idea of success. In our world today, with social media like Instagram and TikTok, we see success everywhere. We see the final picture. We see the person on a beautiful vacation. We see the artist with their amazing painting. We see the English speaker having a perfect conversation. What we don't see is the journey. We don't see the hard work. We don't see the mistakes. We don't see the days they felt tired and wanted to quit. We only see the final, perfect result. And this creates a big myth, a big story that is not true. The myth of overnight success. Overnight means it happened in one night, very quickly. But that's not how life works, right? Think about building a house. You don't just have a pile of bricks one day and a beautiful house the next day. It takes time. You have to lay one brick, then another brick, and then another. It's a slow process. Day after day, you add more bricks. Some days are sunny, and it's easy. Some days are rainy, and it's hard. But you continue. And after many days of laying bricks, you finally have a house. Achieving your goals is exactly the same. Learning English is the same. You learn one new word. That's your first brick. Then you learn a grammar rule. That's another brick. You have a short 5-minute conversation. That's a very important brick. By themselves, these bricks look small. They don't look like a house. But when you put them all together, day after day, they build something amazing. They build your fluency.
The problem is that we often compare our first brick with someone else's finished house. You are on day 3 of learning English, and you see someone who has been learning for 10 years, and you think, why am I not as good as them? This is a terrible comparison. It's not fair to you. You are just at the beginning of your journey. They are further down the road. So, the first step to achieving anything is to forget the idea of overnight success. It doesn't exist. It's a story. The real story, the true story, is about small, consistent steps. Consistent means doing something regularly, again and again. It's about the small things you do every single day. That is the real secret. It's not magic, it's a method. And it's a method anyone can use. So, I want you to do something for me. The next time you see a successful person, don't just see the final result. Try to imagine the journey. Imagine the hundreds of hours they spent practicing. Imagine the mistakes they made. Imagine the days they continued even when it was difficult. When you start to see the journey, you realize that you can have a journey too. You just need to lay your first brick. Part 2, the power of just showing up. So, if success is not about a big magical moment, what is it about? I love this simple phrase, showing up. What does that mean? It means you are present. You are there. You do the thing you plan to do, even if you don't feel like it. Let's be honest. Motivation is not always there. Motivation is that feeling of, yes, I want to do this. I am excited. It's a great feeling, but it comes and goes. It's like a sunny day. Some days are sunny, but some days are cloudy and rainy. If you only work on your goals when you feel motivated, you will not be very consistent. You will only work on the sunny days. But what about the cloudy days? The rainy days? Those are the days that really matter. Those are the days when you need to just show up. Imagine you decide to learn 5 new English words every day. On Monday, you are motivated. It's easy. Yes, new words. On Tuesday, you are still feeling good. Okay, let's do this. But on Wednesday, you are tired. You had a long day at work. You don't feel motivated. You think, ugh, I'll do it tomorrow. This is the important moment. This is the moment of choice. The person who waits for motivation quits on Wednesday. They say, I'll do 10 words tomorrow. But tomorrow, something else happens, and they never get back to it. The person who understands the power of showing up does something different. On Wednesday, they say, okay, I am tired. I don't feel motivated, but my plan is to learn 5 words. So I will sit down for just a few minutes and I will learn my 5 words. They show up. They do the work. It might not be their best work. It might be difficult, but they do it.
And this is where the real magic happens. It's not in learning the 5 words. The magic is in keeping your promise to yourself. When you show up, even when it's hard, you are sending a powerful message to your brain. You are saying, I am the kind of person who does what they say they will do. I am a person who is building their future. This builds discipline, but more importantly, it builds self-trust. You start to trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, you start to believe in yourself more. So, how can we make it easier to show up, especially on those difficult days? Well, that brings us to our next section, where we will open our success toolbox and look at some simple, practical tools you can use. The first one is a game changer. Part 3, Your Success Toolbox. Tool number 1, the 5-minute rule. Okay, welcome to your Success Toolbox. This is where we get really practical. I love ideas, but I love actions more. So our first tool is something I call the 5-minute rule. It is incredibly simple and incredibly powerful, especially for those days when you feel zero motivation. Here's how it works. When there is something you need to do, but you really don't want to do it, you make a deal with yourself. You say, I will only do this for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, I can stop if I want to. That's it. That's the rule. Let's say you need to study English grammar. For many people, studying grammar is not the most exciting thing in the world. You know you should do it, but you keep postponing it. You say, I'll do it later. This is called procrastination. So you use the 5-minute rule. You tell yourself, okay, I will open my grammar book and study for just 5 minutes. I will set a timer on my phone. When the timer rings, I am free. I can stop. Now, why is this so effective? Why does this work so well? Because starting is the hardest part. Getting off the sofa, opening the book, reading the first sentence, that is the biggest mountain to climb. Your brain sees the big task, study English for 1 hour, and it feels tired just thinking about it. It feels overwhelming. Overwhelming is when you feel like something is too much, too big to handle. But study for 5 minutes? Your brain thinks, oh, anyone can do that. 5 minutes is nothing. Okay, fine. I can do 5 minutes. So you start. You open the book, you read a little, and then a funny thing often happens. After 5 minutes, when your timer rings, you find that you are already in the middle of an exercise. You're starting to understand something, and you think, well, I've already started. Maybe I'll just do another 5 minutes, and then another. And often, that 5-minute promise to yourself turns into 15 minutes or 20 minutes or even 30 minutes of study. You tricked your brain. You used a small, easy goal to overcome the big wall of procrastination. But what if you do stop after 5 minutes? What if the timer rings and you think, okay, that's enough? That is perfectly fine.
You are allowed to stop because you still won. You showed up. You did your 5 minutes. You kept the promise to yourself. You laid one small brick. And that is a victory. Doing 5 minutes is 100% better than doing 0 minutes. You can use the 5 minute rule for anything. Don't want to exercise? Just put on your shoes and walk for 5 minutes. Don't want to clean your apartment? Just clean one small area for 5 minutes. Don't want to practice your English speaking? Just record yourself talking for 5 minutes. Action creates momentum. An object that is moving is easier to keep moving. An object that is still is harder to get started. The 5 minute rule is how you start moving. It's a powerful tool. Put it in your toolbox and use it every time you feel stuck. Part 4. Your Success Toolbox. Tool number 2. The What's Next Mindset. All right, you have your first tool, the 5 minute rule, to help you take action. Now, let's talk about our second tool. This one is all about your mind. It's about how you think. We can call it the What's Next mindset. Let's be honest. When you are learning something new, you will make mistakes. It is not possible to learn without making mistakes. Mistakes are a part of the process. They are not a sign of failure. They are a sign that you are trying. But how do we react to mistakes? This is very important. Many people have what we can call a fixed mindset. When they make a mistake, they think, "Oh no, I'm so bad at this. I made a mistake, so I am a failure. I will never be good at English." Their thinking is fixed. It doesn't move. They see the mistake as the end of the story. But there is a different way to think. We can call it a growth mindset, or as I like to call it, the what's next mindset. A person with this mindset sees a mistake differently. When they make a mistake, for example, they use the wrong word in a conversation, they don't think, "I am bad." Instead, they think, "Okay, that was the wrong word. Interesting. Why was it wrong? What is the correct word?" They are curious. They see the mistake as an opportunity to learn. Their reaction is not, "I'm a failure." Their reaction is, "Okay, that happened. What's next? What can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time?" This small change in your thinking, in your mindset, changes everything. A mistake is no longer a scary monster. A mistake becomes your teacher. It's information, it's data that you can use to improve. Let's imagine two people trying to learn a new recipe. Person A has a fixed mindset. They burn the chicken. Their reaction? "I can't cook. I am a terrible cook. I will just order pizza." They give up. Person B has a what's next mindset. They burn the chicken. Their reaction, "Oops, the chicken is burned. Okay, the heat was probably too high, or I cooked it for too long. Next time, I will use a lower temperature and check it more often. What's next? Let's try again tomorrow." Who do you think will learn to cook the delicious chicken dinner? Person B, of course. So, how can you develop this mindset? It starts with your self talk. That's the little voice inside your head. When you make a mistake in English, listen to that voice. What is it saying? If it's saying, "You are stupid," stop and change the sentence. Say, "No, I am not stupid, I am learning. This mistake is showing me what I need to practice. What's next?" Ask yourself questions. What did I learn from this mistake? What one thing can I do better next time? Who can I ask for help? The what's next mindset is about progress, not perfection. It's about moving forward, one small step at a time, even if you sometimes fall. When you fall, you just get up, learn why you fell, and take the next step. This is a tool for life, not just for learning English. Part 5. Build your success team. We've talked about taking small, consistent actions. We've talked about having the right mindset. There is one more piece of the puzzle that is super important, and that is your environment. Your environment is everything around you. It's your room, your city, the books you read, the music you listen to, and most importantly, the people you spend time with. There is a famous saying, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Think about that for a minute. Think about the 5 people you talk to the most: your family, your friends, your colleagues. Do these people inspire you? Do they have a positive mindset? Do they talk about goals, dreams, and learning? Or do they complain a lot? Do they have a negative, fixed mindset? If you are trying to be positive and grow, but you are surrounded by negative people who tell you that's impossible, or why are you even trying? It's like trying to swim up a river. It's so much harder. But if you surround yourself with people who support you, who are also trying to grow, who say, "Wow, that's a great goal. How can I help?" Then it's like swimming with the river. It becomes so much easier. You get energy from them. So you need to build your success team. This doesn't mean you have to stop talking to your old friends, but it does mean you should actively look for positive influences. How can you do this? First, think about the content you consume, the videos you watch on YouTube, the accounts you follow on Instagram, the podcasts you listen to, like this one. Are they helping you? Follow people who inspire you. Follow teachers, artists, thinkers, and creators who make you feel motivated and curious. Unfollow the accounts that make you feel bad about yourself. This is your digital environment, and you can control it. Second, find a community. Learning alone can be lonely, but when you are part of a group, you feel connected. Find an online English learning community. Maybe there is a conversation club in your city. Join a group
where people share your goals. When you have a bad day, you can share your problem with the group and they will understand and support you. When you have a success, you can celebrate with them.
I remember when I was trying to get healthier and go to the gym. It was hard to go alone. But then I made a friend at the gym.
We decided to go together 3 times a week. On days when I felt lazy, he would message me, "Hey, are you ready?" And I would go because of him. And on days he felt lazy, I would motivate him. We were a team. It made all the difference. So, your task for this week is to think about your success team. Who are the positive people in your life? Spend more time with them. What positive content can you add to your life? Find a new podcast or YouTube channel that inspires you. Where can you find a community? Look for a group that shares your interests. Building a positive environment is like preparing the soil before you plant a seed. If the soil is good, the seed will grow strong. Your mind is the seed, and your environment is the soil. Make it a good one.
Your first step starts today. Wow, we have covered so much today. We've talked about the big myth of overnight success, the power of showing up, and we opened our success toolbox to find the 5-minute rule and the what's next mindset. And finally, we talked about building your success team.
It might feel like a lot of information, but the main idea is very, very simple. You have the power to change your life. You have the power to achieve your goals. And it doesn't start with a giant, scary leap. It starts with one small step, one tiny brick.
If you remember one thing from today's episode, I want it to be this. Small, consistent actions create big results over time. Reading one page of a book every day is better than trying to read a whole book on a Saturday and then stopping. Practicing English for 10 minutes every day is better than a 2-hour class once a month. One small, positive choice, repeated every day, will change who you are. So, I have a challenge for you. Not a big challenge, a small one. Think of one goal you have. Just one. Maybe it's, I want to speak more fluently. Maybe it's, I want to understand movies in English. Now, what is one small action, one 5-minute action that you can take today to move toward that goal? Not tomorrow, today. Maybe it's watching a 5-minute video in English. Maybe it's learning 3 new words. Maybe it's saying good morning in English to a colleague. Whatever it is, make it small. Make it easy. And just do it. That's your first brick. And tomorrow, you can lay another one. I believe in you. I know you can do it. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Take your first step today.
Thank you so much for listening to the Enjoy English podcast. It was a pleasure to be here with you.
If you enjoyed this episode and found it helpful, please consider subscribing so you don't miss our next one. And if you can leave a review or share it with a friend who is also learning English, it helps our community grow. Let's keep learning and growing together. I'm Alex, and I will see you next time. Have a fantastic, productive, and happy week.